Good morning. Chip Mathews, Taylor Turcotte
Good morning,
in for
everyone. Matt Bishop.
Matt Bishop. He'll be, he's supposed to be back next week for a week to hand off the show to us. So, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, here we are on a rainy morning.
Very rainy.
I was in the studio this morning. It's got, we're here on I guess the 16th floor of the radio complex. And I had all the lights out to where I could look out over the vast city of Flora, excuse me, with the windows and watch the lightning up here in the clouds.
Yes, I was watching it coming in from the other direction, and right above us is a very large cloud that the lightning would hit, and you'd see this monster cloud up into the
great. It's great. But anyway,
atmosphere.
Y'all, make time to drive this morning safely.
Yes.
And get out and do it. Also, we want to get this rain on through here where it will not affect the election tomorrow.
It will not. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow.
But I'm going to tell you what, these weathermen have to be stopped. This past weekend, they had us scared to death. They had, not me, y'all, scared to death to come out to eat in places. We still filled up.
Right.
But there was a time on Saturday night that for 2 hours we had nobody.
Really?
And then everybody realized, at 4:00 we were slammed. Okay, 4:00 in the afternoon, slammed. And then 7:30, all of a sudden.
Nothing. What happened?
And then at 9:30, it was full again. I even, between the 7:30 and 8 o'clock hour, I went to Kroger on the reservoir and Walmart. In Kroger, I was the only person in Kroger.
What was the
weatherman had told everybody that the whole world was ending.
Yeah, I missed all that.
Well, they started.
What happens if you just don't cut on the?
They started
the
that.
news.
They started that last weekend, saying that next weekend it's going to blow us away.
Right. Well, they said that the weekend before, and nothing happened.
And here we are tempting God on a Monday when it's going to blow us away on a Monday. Exactly. But anyway, if it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yep, we won't have to do anything about it.
Won't have to think about who we're going to vote tomorrow. But let's think.
I'm not going to vote tomorrow. Should I vote tomorrow? I know that if I vote tomorrow in the Democratic primary,
you need to.
I'm not going to vote for Ward 7. I'm not going to vote.
Okay, well here's the deal. You need
for the council.
You need to call the Secretary of State's office.
Okay.
And make sure you're allowed to vote.
Make sure that I'm allowed to vote.
Correct. Because you're running as a Republican.
Okay. So maybe I shouldn't. I should just stay out of it.
Yes. But if we can vote, we need to vote. But it puts you in a situation to where you cannot pick, like in Canton, I cannot go pick my alderman.
Right.
Unless I vote Democrat. And then down the road, when I'm running for judge, somebody will say, you once voted Democrat.
Well, they've already got me on that. I voted Democrat last year.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they'll take your record. Of course, in Mississippi, the local governments are Democrat.
Right.
Boy, bazinga.
My sheriff is a Democrat.
And that's the way that is. And then you have the 9 new Republicans that were Democrat that suddenly became Republicans.
Yeah, y'all are giving them a hard time without even hearing why. I mean, if they're changing the party for the right reason, it will become apparent.
Let me ask you this: what do you think occurred at the Capitol this year that made 9 Democrats want to go to the other side? Other than
they found out that a majority of their constituents voted for Trump.
Well, they wouldn't have. They voted for Benny.
I don't care who they voted for. What would change their minds? What would push them over to the Republican Party? A lot of their constituents saying, I'm going over there, or them looking at the numbers and seeing how many of them voted for Trump?
I don't believe that in a heartbeat.
Well,
okay, because they would.
I've been talking about how you
let's say this.
Do what your people want.
Let's say this.
Okay.
Do you think they all changed over because they all voted together to get rid of the taxes in 2035?
No, they're acting like it's.
I mean, I
They were
saw
on Fox News.
I
Even
saw
that
Tate on
Mississippi has
Fox
gotten
yesterday
rid. And
morning.
I'm like,
we have no taxes in Mississippi. We have no taxes, and I'm going.
Not exactly. Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
no.
Not yet. We don't. You're making us wait. So not yet. We don't. But you're telling us we will at some point.
At some point, but it
down
has
the road.
But it has triggers.
It does.
And then I saw the post, and
I mean, it puts Mississippi at the head. But also, I have to say that they were also Fox News talking about Mississippi's education.
Yeah.
That how well we're doing, because I mean, the fact that Common Core even, I think Common Core was all just something to separate the children and the parents, so that the parents couldn't help the kids with their math homework.
Well, let's talk about this way. Okay. They're talking about how good Mississippi's doing, the Mississippi Miracle, blah, blah.
Right.
Yet, currently, the whole United States fell completely down. So all we did was stay the same. We just just rose in the numbers.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that Mississippi's one of the, we're taking the first steps of getting rid of Common Core, I think is what the big deal is with that, is that we're going back to just math, 2 + 2 instead of 2 + 8 + -4 + 2 + 7 equals, right?
6.
6, correct.
Okay, but listen to this for just a second.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, everybody will be voting at 7 a.m., right?
Yep, they will.
And you got to understand why your city is destroyed. It's not the mayor. It's not the alderman or supervisors or anybody. It's you not voting to build a good framework to build something on. You don't have a good foundation, and you've got to think about who you're putting in those chairs to build it. And in Jackson, I just tell everybody, who running for office right now on tomorrow's ballot would you walk up and hand them a signed check?
That doesn't even, I mean, I know what my answer is to that, but I can't use names.
Yes, I'm just saying.
But, well, I mean, Chip, y'all are worrying. I'm worried about the election. Who's running the election? Not who's writing the checks right now.
Well, they're not running.
Who's running the election in Jackson?
Well, I don't know.
Who's running the election in Jackson?
Let's call Michael Watson and find out.
I'll tell you who's running the election in Jackson.
Yes,
Crooks. Benny Thompson and Chokwe Lumumba are running the election. Sandra McCall is an election commissioner.
Right.
Do you know who Sandra McCall is? Sandra McCall, I audited Hinds County in 2022.
Yes.
For the Brian Flowers, Benny Thompson campaign. And guess who was the representative for Benny Thompson's campaign in that audit? Sandra McCall.
Right.
What did she tell me? She was in a position that was appointed by the mayor, Sandra McCall, and they are running this election. So who's going to win this spot?
Well, that's the way. That's what I'm saying. You've got to show up and vote. And really, the first thing on your mind should be, do I want more of the same? And what's been a part of the structure? So that would mean that you'd go in and you would not vote for John Horn.
No,
you would not vote for Chokwe.
No, because they are the two politicians that are on the ballot. Out of all of these candidates we have for mayoral, we've got the two front runners are politicians, dead, hardcore, long term,
and they've done
politicians,
and they have done nothing for you.
No, up to
and
this
that's what
point,
I'm getting at in building the bonework, the framework. Don't go and get another piece. Just because John's been in the Senate for a House, whatever, for a long time,
right?
He is. You don't have anything, Jackson.
We're in shambles,
right? Your framework is not there. There's nothing core to build, and you got to tear it all down.
Yeah.
Start with a good foundation and build it back up. That's where, when I hear Kim Wade talk about, we're going to break it up the door. We're going to break it up the door. Well, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. As voters,
it's the same thing that Trump has done. Said, we got to break it up. We got to get rid of all this crap.
Yeah. And if y'all want as a voter to break it up, we've got to have a landslide. They cannot cheat if it's not close. Everybody in Jackson, if you have ever at any point registered to vote, if they're not going after election fraud now, they're not going to go after voter fraud. Just go vote. Go vote at the last precinct that you voted at, whether you're sure that you're still registered there or not. Everybody in Jackson needs to turn up.
It only counts when you vote where you live. What precinct? You can't go to another precinct.
Well, but what I'm saying is the last time you go to the last precinct that you voted at, and vote. Everybody.
Yes, but you
We
got
need
to
a
go vote.
landslide.
Need to go vote, and you need to just keep Chokeway off. You know, when you go in there, you're looking for the first thing that ain't Chokeway.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah. Even first thing that's not Chokeway or Horn.
Right.
And I mean, there are a lot, aside from the names that I've said so many times, there are a lot of other ones that are out there as well.
And
that
we're
are
going to
good
want
options.
and we're going to want. There's going to be a runoff.
There's going to be a
so
runoff.
everybody understand that voting today means you got to vote in 2 weeks. So if you go to the polls and vote Republican today,
No, don't do that.
then you're not going to get to
Not in
vote
Jackson.
on who your mayor is going to be.
Right. Not in Jackson.
Not.
I want to. I'm a Republican. I want to see the Republican tables empty. I don't want to see anybody there.
There you go.
I'm a Republican. I don't want to see anybody at the Republican tables in
And
Jackson.
see, your table won't be set up at your ward because there is nobody else running Republican.
No.
Well, is there
The mayor. I mean,
in the mayor's race? Is there more than one Republican running?
Yes, there's 4. I think. Well, I mean, we don't really know for mayor. I mean, I saw the reason why I know that Sandra McCall is running this election is because she was on the news packing the bags, and they had a whole bunch of red and a whole bunch of blue.
And they probably had Jackie Amos there.
I'm sure that they did
because she's one of them.
I mean, y'all,
then, of course,
they are going to steal it from you.
And then, of course, she's the COO for Canton.
Well, I mean,
how? The crooks are everywhere in
how?
Denny's district.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
If you don't do it, it's never going to get done.
Well, I realize that. But my point is, if they're going to cheat tomorrow, they're going to cheat in the next one, and then they're going to cheat me on what's the point?
And so then you got to get a divorce.
Everybody's got to.
If they're going to cheat, they got to get a divorce. Got to get a divorce.
Well,
you got to go away. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on WY8B. And I guess now we're back here on the full story
With Chip Mathews.
Well, that's with Matt Bishop, but we're filling in Chip Mathews and Taylor Turcotte on a few days. You can see us online and see that she's got her hair all poofed up there where your helmet is. But anyway, it's on.
It's too early to have to worry about what I'm look
exactly.
like, but okay.
But
It's the way of the world.
And the morning on the good morning, Russ. Russ is listening right now.
Good morning, Russ.
Okay. And, Ricky Gray. Good morning.
Good morning, Ricky Gray.
Okay. So let's look at this thing right here. What is it? Is it Mississippi politics I want to pull up? Did you see anything on that this weekend that interested you? Huh? I'm asking you.
Nope.
Well,
did you, Chip?
Oh,
yeah, he did.
Oh, yes.
That was a leading question, was it not?
My understanding is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Delbert was upset.
Oh.
Because nobody showed up to work.
Nobody showed up to work on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
To work on what?
On bills that they got to do. They got 1 week left. So
what has happened with our 15-day voting bill? Is it still up or have they killed it yet?
They haven't killed it yet.
They're just letting it idle and they're going to throw it in at the very last minute and sign it. Is that what they do with bills that they know that we don't like? They wait till the very last minute and they sign it and then they run out of town.
Now, Bryce Wiggins put this up and a lot of people made a comment like that. Mississippi is not D.C. We do our job here.
Right.
As much as I respect the speaker, I don't understand this, Wiggins said. Really, with what this is doing is holding hostage agencies and the running of state government because of some issues they have. Because see the speaker, and then they didn't show up this week, past weekend. People send us here to get our business done in 90 days. We have. I just want to keep us from becoming like Washington, D.C., because D.C. is not exactly the bastion of efficiency. Excuse me. No, it's not.
So what, Delbert called everybody in for a Saturday, a special work day because they had too much to do or something, and
he
now
called
he's
them
mad.
in, and my understanding is
When did he call them in? At 8 a.m. Saturday morning?
No, he expected everybody in at 7 a.m.
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
For what? What is so pressing that they've got to come in on Saturday
at 7
a.m.?
They've done nothing.
Okay.
And I even hear he's upset that they passed the alleged tax bill.
He is upset that they.
Yeah. He is not. He is not. He is not a Republican.
I'm not understanding what he is upset about, because he didn't snap, because everybody did mind and do what he told them to do.
Well, that's what's been going on for years.
Is that pretty much?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that he's the lieutenant governor because it's the most powerful. Why would you want to be lieutenant governor? Well, because it's the most powerful in the
and you set the agenda.
State. And you set the agenda.
Look, we had a bill that I saw that had we had a bill up that somebody put on the floor, which should have progressed, and I think it was on the is it Colonel or General? What's that guy? What is his name? Colonel.
Who?
Oh, I can't.
You got to give me. There's a lot of colonels.
He ran for Gannon.
Colonel Gannon Burton. Yeah, I know Gannon very well.
I saw where Gannon put up on his site. He was talking about there was a bill on the floor this year.
Yep.
To have be able to have recall elections in Mississippi. Died in committee.
Of course.
And I've said, of course that died. I mean, you don't have a ballot initiative.
Of course that did.
It's not even up. And you look
once you lie to us and we find out about it, then we can't, nothing we can do about it.
No politician is going to sign his death warrant because, it's not till you get in and start doing. I mean, the elections happen in one part of the year, and then later on we have to deal with the results of the election, and then we can't do nothing about it for 4 years. We're stuck with it, so we just listen and we go along. Meanwhile, it's all falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, people. And look, I look forward to tomorrow because out in Brandon, you got Shanks, running against the establishment. Is it what? That's not Jake. That's I forgot who.
Oh, and Brand. See, I don't.
I
it's
can't remember who
Brandon.
the mayor of Brandon is, but you got Shanks out there,
Right.
who is he's in part of the state part, but he's a good guy at the state. You know, and I hate that we're losing
So
him.
there are some that would sign their own death warrant for
he
recall
would.
elections.
He would. Well, like he's leaving. He's running for mayor, which if he wins, he's out.
Right.
He can't go back down there.
Mhm.
But if he loses, he's still there. But I hope he wins and helps Brandon because the cities need to get off the constant thing of the same government everywhere.
Well, we need fresh ideas,
His
and we
name's
need out of the box.
Butch Lee.
Butch Lee. Thank you. We need out of the box thinkers that aren't going to think in the traditional,
because everything isn't going to stay the
fresh
same forever.
eyes.
It's just like your own household. Nothing stays the change at your own house.
Nope.
You know, it just doesn't. It's not the way the world works.
Yep.
We're evolving. We need this. We need that.
Yep.
You know, it's like, you know, every time you turn around, and I was riding the back roads in Gene McGee World yesterday.
Okay. It's Ridgeland.
Okay. And I'm going down. It's not really the back roads. It's the drive that goes to Costco.
Highland Colony Parkway.
That road is crap now. Okay. It's
up and down. It's like a roller coaster.
It's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And to the left, they're building new stores that are going to attract a different clientele from what they've been attracting at Costco.
Really?
And the roads aren't wide enough. It's not big enough. It's not. And I sit there and I go, they have just created a nightmare, and all for the love of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and you had plenty of room to go clear out on the new bridge over area. You could have done something there to try to connect your city to 51, because 51's still in your city, but I guess you don't want to get too close to the apartment complex, because we all know that stores don't want to build next to apartment complex, especially those that are close to Jackson.
Wow.
I mean, you got to get ahead of this. And I really hope that Pat wins. Pat Truesdale. She's running in Ridgeland against one alderman. One alderman is being contested.
Okay.
I don't know which one it is, but she was on the election commission. She was a good person, and that's the kind of person you need. And she's running just because
Somebody's got to do it.
knows there's a problem. She knows there's a problem. She's been involved. She's been an election commissioner for years. And she understands the problem at the election commission.
Yep.
These guys down at the Capitol need to be taking care of election commissioners. They currently get paid crap. Even the crooked ones get paid crap. And then they're responsible to certify the election regardless of the results. If they decide that someone cheated, they still have to certify the election. So the state needs to allow people, when they say, look, there was this kind of fraud, that kind of fraud, and that kind of fraud in this election, and we should either get a do-over or somebody should go to jail. We don't have that option. That does not happen. Michael Watson doesn't have the power. And then when you do find the fraud, and it goes, Michael Watson forwards it up to Lynn Fitch, then she won't do anything with it.
Nope.
And then, of course, this is the primary before the general. And then you got 2 weeks till the runoff, right? So all the corruption that happens tomorrow will lead to 2 weeks of screaming and yelling and this to try to stop it, to move forward when things don't happen right.
Let me go ahead and get ahead of Jackson and see if they're going to pull their incompetence to cover the corruption.
And y'all and the state government's going to sit there and go, well, that's just Democratic. That's the way they do it. It's not. No. The problem is the system that you have set up.
Right.
And then
who would have thought the Democratic Party in Mississippi would have a grassroots arm like the Republicans do?
And then now I know people that differ with me on this, but on early voting, to try to implement that, which of course they passed it. Usually when they pass something, it goes into effect like in July. We in early voting, we can't get what we have right. If we add early voting to it, you're adding
We can't secure a ballot box for 12 hours on election day. We can't secure one for 15 days before. The problem is valid. Yes, people do need a more convenient way.
Yes, I agree with
There
that.
is a problem that the 15 days is to fix, but I think that a national holiday would be a much bigger, much better fix for it. That everybody gets the day off on election day, every election day.
Well, that's
But I mean,
Trump's trying to fix the federal deal.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and y'all, Trump will fix the federal deal.
yeah.
And
But we can't have a ballot box that's open for 15
but the
days.
state handles their elections. They handle
Mhm.
all elections. Federal, even the federal election is handled by the state. And it had, but the federal government's trying to put some guidelines on it, which that becomes constitutional. But anyway,
Well,
we're going
we got to get a hold of our voting.
Yeah, must because we're building bad foundations in these cities
on fake votes.
That's correct. That's correct. We got to take a break. We'll be back right here on WYAB with Chip Mathews. That's me. And Taylor Turcotte. That's you.
That's me.
Yes. And we're back here on a
Rainy
Monday
Monday.
in Florida.
Dreary
It's
morning.
rainy Monday in Florida.
We're hearing there's bad weather up around Madison.
Oh, and look, that's the other thing. You're not keeping up with it. The important things that go on this week,
Okay.
besides voting tomorrow. Then Wednesday, we have Grip and Grin.
We do. We have Grip and Grin.
And then
at Mama Hamill's.
And then Saturday at
noon.
Cameron Garage.
Oh, that's right. We have
the Rankin County breakfast.
I forget about that most Saturdays.
We need to remember all these things. I mean, that's what you're here for.
And we'll be here on Friday to really remind
you. But you're here. You got to play. It's like the weatherman. He started last week telling us that we were going to blow away this weekend, and he missed it by the whole weekend.
He did, because it was supposed to be on Saturday, wasn't it?
It's just like, yeah. Well, it was supposed to be on Friday night.
Well, I know that there was a big
we had no
garage sale in Brandon for a women's shelter over there, and they were worried about rain, storms coming through on Saturday.
That's because
it was a beautiful day.
They lied to us.
They had a great
weatherman.
So I'm glad.
Get it together.
We have a women's shelter in
Are
Brandon.
They're just trying to get. They're just trying to get overtime in. Is all I can come up with for all their staff. They're as bad as the government.
I will give you that. I think COVID proved that to us when they ran the numbers.
Okay,
constantly.
So let's go back.
Scare us.
I guess the big topic today for this hour will be the election.
Election tomorrow.
And
everybody's got to get out and vote.
And you want to be in line at 7 a.m. And remember, if you're still in line at 7 p.m., if you're in line,
right,
and it takes to 9 o'clock to get you through.
Yep.
It takes to 9 o'clock to get you through, but you have to be in line by 7 p.m. And of course, what we need to do tomorrow, we need to make sure everybody takes it down. We will give everybody the number to the Secretary of State's office hotline to report any discrepancies. Because y'all, unless we report all the discrepancies to them, maybe then if they had 10,000, 20,000, 30, I wonder how many discrepancies they actually have on paper that they wrote down. But if they wrote them all down and you had enough of them, then they could take them to the legislature and say, y'all want to do something about these? Y'all want to do something about this? Just got a thing. Rankin County schools will delay opening this morning.
Okay.
Because of the weather. And look, y'all, I hate to tell y'all this. Florida, it's not raining out here.
How do you know?
I can see. There's a windows.
I know, but it's raining. You just can't see it.
I can't see it.
It's raining.
Put your glasses on.
I put my glasses on and walked over there and put my hands up to the window and looked out, and you can see the raindrops and the puddles out there. So it is raining.
That counts.
It's not downpouring.
Not lightning.
It's not.
Now
the bottom's not dropping out like we're hearing.
Before we got here, I was in here watching the outside, and there was a new noise that I had never heard of this building. It was like this thunder, and then there was this other noise, and I was going, is that the windows about to blow out? And it went away.
Well, we had one strike of lightning went across the sky while I was coming in. Okay. But it looks like it's moving out. But it does look like we're looking at some heavy, hard rain over
in drive time. So y'all be very, 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 very careful out there. We'd like you to be hanging out with us tomorrow for Election Day.
Yep, but it is moving out. It'll be gone here soon.
I wonder if Clay's going to do his show tomorrow night where they we'll ask him when he comes in if he's going to do his election time coverage.
Oh, election coverage.
Riveting.
Yep.
Well, really, it's not that riveting because you sit here and you actually have nothing to say because you're waiting on them to finish cheating down there while they're counting. It's the truth.
Why am I running?
You're not on the ballot tomorrow. You're on the ballot in June.
But if they're going to cheat now, they're going to cheat in June.
No, that's because right now we are saying enough about the cheating that maybe some of these politicians are going to get off their butts and do something. I'm lying. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream that
Why
they're going to
doing this.
Because right now we need to make sure that in future elections we don't have voter ID part. If you don't bring your ID, you don't vote. Period. Now I'm not talking about you got 7 days to correct it, this, that, and the other. Election day, And just like when you vote absentee, you have to
Yep.
bring your ID.
Yep.
If you don't have your ID, you don't vote.
Yep.
Period.
Bring your and
You
vote.
know?
And vote, because I tell you, if you don't vote, they may vote your vote for you at the end of the day when they need votes to make up.
And tomorrow, since
Before they start going.
since we're still in cheating mode
So
tomorrow,
everybody needs to show up and use their vote.
we're in cheating mode tomorrow. So all you illegal immigrants, come in and don't vote for Chokeway.
Don't vote for Chokeway.
I mean, if you got all your sanctuary city in Jackson,
We are.
okay.
We are.
So you need to make sure that all of them, and then
And if that doesn't motivate you to vote in Jackson, I don't know what will.
And what would have been great is if ICE were the poll workers tomorrow.
Yep.
Then you could just clean it up. Clean up Jackson one weekend. ICE, they coming in, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Between that, it's the first.
Yep.
April
Jackson
Fool's
local,
Day.
pay attention.
All those Social Security checks go out in the morning.
Yep.
Everybody will have money.
Yep.
They may have too much money to be bothered about going to vote tomorrow because they got their check. We got to go spend it, go get my hair did.
Yep. They're giving you that money now, but let them get their way. And 5 years from now, we'll all be pod people. Well,
we'll
I
be
won't
pod.
go that. I won't go that far. But we all need to get out and start pod people being like in the Matrix. You know how all the people were stuck in the pods and they were generating the energy from. That's where that came from.
Is that like the cone of silence? I don't know. I haven't watched the Matrix.
You haven't seen the Matrix.
I'm too old for
all
the Matrix.
all of the robots keep all of the people in like this little pod. It's almost like a.
Are you a
you're
robot?
kept in sleep.
Are you a robot?
I hope not. I mean, I don't know. In the Matrix, we're all in these pods with our energy being sucked out, and we're living in this imaginary world in our minds. Pinch yourself. Is it real?
Well, if Elon made me, then I have feelings.
I know, but
think
what if
about
it's
it.
just all in your head?
No, Elon, when he builds a robot, he builds it right.
Right.
You know.
But what if it's not?
I'm an Elon. If I'm a robot, I'm an Elon robot.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather just be normal.
Let me show you where the Elon
human
the stamp is. My serial number. You want to see it?
No.
Okay.
Not unless it's on your forearm.
It's not on my forearm.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
That was where they went in to work on my
hot
electronic art.
Yeah.
Okay. So tomorrow, I know you have a candidate that you would like to say that you're endorsing.
Everybody knows who I'm endorsing.
Well, I want you to say it.
Why?
Go ahead and just say it.
Well, everybody knows that I'm a huge David Archie fan, but David
I wanted
Archie,
you to put it out there.
There are a lot of other good candidates as well that are not politicians, one of which is Tim Henderson.
Right.
I believe him to be a good man.
Okay.
James Haygood is a good man. I hope.
What's the young guy?
That's with the one
that was on Play Show the other day.
That's Zach Servais.
Okay.
He is I think he's in it for the right reasons because they tried to dump some dirty stuff on him, which is kind of a key that they're trying to do. He would, but see, he's an independent. And he's not going to be.
Oh, he's an independent. He'll be there, and
he'll be there. But I mean, if you're voting on the Democratic primary tomorrow, there are other good and I mean there are other council people that I would like to see.
But remember, when you go in to vote, if the mayor's race is the most important thing to you, you have to vote at the Democratic counter.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
If you don't vote at the Democratic counter, you will not be allowed to vote in that part of the mayor's race.
Right.
Period.
Yep. You've got to vote Democrat.
I mean,
vote. I don't want anybody at the Republican tables. There's never been anybody at the Republican tables in Jackson. Why are they starting now? You know, I heard my election that my table was that they did not have a Republican table at many of the precincts in Jackson in my Republican primary that I was in.
Yeah,
that I paid almost an arm and a leg to get into, and they didn't even have my tables there. But now that I need my Republicans to vote on the Democratic primary, now they're going to put out the Republican.
Because when you don't set up the precinct right, sooner or later you're going to get caught.
Yep.
And y'all have a lot of precincts in Jackson.
And most of them are train wrecks.
Yes, they're all train wrecks. Because
in the audit that I did, one of the election commissioners had to leave the election office and go down and open up a poll in South Jackson.
But the reality is, we need to reduce the amount of polls
We do.
just because it costs a fortune.
We
But
need
it's a
to
jobs
overhaul everything.
it's a jobs program for Democrats.
It is, but we need to over our entire election. We need to overhaul the whole shooting match.
And
Make it more efficient. Make it more.
And if we fixed what we
secure.
had, it would help it a whole lot. But you've
Mhm.
got to pay people. And I'm not talking about the poll workers. I'm talking about the election commissioners need to be paid a wage to where someone better would want the job, because the people that have the job are controlling who's going into office.
Yes.
Period.
They're controlling everything.
And that's because they get paid crap. They don't get any PERS for what they got. And they have to do exactly what the law says, which is whatever the results are, we have to certify them and send them to Michael Watson. No.
We got to make it legal, and then we'll talk about whether or not it was legal or not.
Be careful.
Or a good vote or not.
Be careful driving this morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Taylor Turcotte and myself, Chip Mathews, right here on WYAB. Okay, I guess must be some way out of here, huh?
Was that
No,
our
that's
music?
what that is. Yeah,
Wow,
all along the watchtower.
that's kind of slow to be it when we're trying to wake people up.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Some mornings it's like hitting the snooze. You need to hit the snooze. So, okay, so let's go through this real quick. All week long it's going to be 81 degrees, and then the Easter snap is starting to come in. By
81,
the week.
88 actually.
When is
what it's
Easter?
saying.
When is Easter? 2 weeks away?
Easter is.
Okay.
I might have to look that one up, but I
Okay.
do know that we got the next couple of days. 81 tomorrow, 88 on Wednesday, 88 on Thursday, 88 on Friday, and then 81 on Saturday, and then kabloomy on Sunday. We hit the high of 62 and low of 45.
Easter
39.
Easter snap. It comes every year.
Yep.
I can't wait till Clay gets here because I haven't been able to operate the air conditioner in the building properly.
Right.
Where it'll be night. He'll have it down to snowing
Well,
in here.
it helps when you.
And we just checked in with a former election commissioner, Timothy Jenkins. Do y'all realize that the people that run the election do not have to have a bond? They have to do no background check to be who they are.
Yeah. Well, they're elected.
They're elected, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to, if you get elected to council or anything, you have to have a bond
Right.
for your actions.
But for election commissions, you don't.
No bonds. You also don't get any support in the Democratic primary. They don't. They won't give them in Canton. They won't give them any financial support to make decisions against other people that they didn't want to put on the ballot. They said that the Blackmans were going to sue them if they didn't put their candidate on the ballot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they put everybody on the ballot.
Yep. I think election commissioners should be.
They should
beyond reproach.
It should be
I
a
mean,
situation where you can be beyond reproach.
Yep.
But I mean, if you're getting paid dirt nothing, I don't think they make $20,000. They have to put in hours.
Yep.
To be paid.
Yep.
Okay. And they only allowed, I think, 20 hours a week or something like that.
Right.
And they do get insurance, but they get no retirement. They're not in the PERS.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not right. The way we have a system that is broken, and then most of these politicians,
why people would want these positions that don't pay any money. Is and it because they know?
Yeah, and then most of these politicians
backside,
they keep it to where it's broke, so that they can go in.
Yep.
And they can pick people. Say, oh, you can run for this office, you're gonna get a check.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're gonna get a check, and
yep.
It's not gonna really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you make. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's prestige. It's a title.
Nope.
Nope.
But you know, we're also talking about in Jackson, where my last election commissioner, the one before, I feel like we have a really good one in my district now. I'm District 2 in Hinds County, but you know, Tony Johnson was rolling around doing all kinds of stuff with an ankle bracelet on. She gets convicted of 5 felonies of election issues, and she's still in the election. She's still doing voter stuff up in
Madison County, we had an alderman and a school board member who have pled guilty, and their campaign managers. And they pleaded. They part of their sentence was they could not be involved with elections in the future. They're campaign managers for 2 people running for office.
Tony Johnson was the election commissioner for the District 2 supervisor that is now sitting.
And then also worked out.
Tony Johnson was the campaign manager.
And then also ran the district for Benny, right?
I mean, yeah, every voter in Hinds County should feel like they're thumbing their nose at you.
I mean,
because they are.
I mean, y'all, and everybody goes, I don't want to get involved in all this. And of course you got to. You got to fix it.
That is exactly what has gotten us into all this mess, is people not wanting to get involved.
You got to get involved. And it starts with voting, because 20% of y'all go vote tomorrow. And and of that will be all the people that Chokeway picked up tonight on the streets.
Yep.
And brought them in to vote.
Yep. We got to offset that. Everybody has to show up.
Allegedly.
To offset all of that.
I mean, we got to do better on election day in city elections.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't go, you're going to wind up with the same crap you currently have.
Yep. And if you haven't voted in years, this is the chance. This is the time.
Yes.
Literally.
And when you go in to vote, if they say you're not on the books, vote absentee, vote affidavit.
Yep. Yep.
And make sure you sign across the flap.
Yes, you have
There's
to sign.
there's all kind of super secret rules on how you do that.
Yes,
So you got to
but
do that.
everybody in Jackson has got to turn up and show up to vote in the Democratic primary tomorrow. I've decided I'm not going to. I will not be at any polls tomorrow. I'm not going to vote on any of them.
I cannot not go to every poll.
Well, no, I'm not going to vote. I may run around to the polls and see what's going on, but I'm not actually going to.
Okay, what's this?
think I need
Regina
to-
Mitchell was charged with, I can't see it. She running for District 5. She was charged with,
She's running for.
I can't get to it in time. Our time's about to
Yep.
run out.
Yep.
Taylor, I will see you at 9:00
Yep.
this morning. You be back in that chair ready to talk.
Will do.
I'm Chip Mathews, and we'll see you later. The Clay Edwards is up next, right here on WYAB.
See y'all in a bit.